In this video, I'm going to discuss the voltage controlled amplifier, which is this section of the Z5 here. The Z5 actually contains 3 VCAs. This is 1, this is 2, and there's a third one elsewhere in the circuit. This particular VCA here controls the internal image. This potentiometer and this switch here controls the external image. And on later model Z5s, these are built in here a little bit different than what you see here. This was the very first Z5. So the internal image VCA down here at the bottom has 2 potentiometers called X gain and Y gain. And I consider these more like trim potentiometers. If you have one projector where one of the scanners X-axis is amplified more than Y-axis, well, you can trim that out here, as you can see, to get it just right, so you get a perfect circle or something close to what you want. Next to this is an image size. This only affects the internal image, and this, like if I bring up a full-on abstract, this controls the whole thing, top to bottom. Does not invert the way these sliders do up here. It's just one single dual-channel potentiometer slider there. Okay, so going up, we have master gain, which controls the everything coming through the console, including the external image, but only if this switch is in normal. If this switch is in bypass, whatever you have connected, an external DAC, a Pangolin, or whatever else, if it's set to bypass, that signal will go to a buffer circuit and then just go straight out of the console. So the Z5 does have to be powered on in order for the bypass to function. But doing this, there's no gain involved. It's just a straight buffered signal going out, and it completely eliminates everything else on the console. So anyway, like I had mentioned, this controls gain for everything in the console, including the external image when you're set to normal here. Okay, just above that is the VCA gain for the internal image. Now this is slightly different from this slider in that it's controlled by this switch. So right now this is a 3-position switch that rocks left to right. When it's sitting in the center, which is labeled DC, the voltage controlled amplifier just has a solid 15-volt signal sitting on the input, and it's controlled by this potentiometer. When I move this to LFO1, that ties the VCA to this low frequency oscillator to give an effect such as this. At that point, you can make adjustments here to the LFO on symmetry or something to that effect to get the style effect that you're looking for. And this could be changed from a ramp to a square. You've also got gain and offset that you can also add. Or it can be changed over to LFO2, which you can have set as something else. LFO2 does run a bit higher than LFO1 as far as frequency. Just above that, as I mentioned before, these are for the external image. This is a separate VCA for doing the same thing as we're doing here, but we're doing it to the external image instead of the internal image. So let's pan over to the external image, and similar thing. Right now it's set for DC. If I move it to the left, now it's tied to LFO1, and I can adjust its overall signal there and change the speed of it at the LFO level over here, or it can be LFO2. And changing gain and offset, you can see what it's doing to the 2 images there. And that's the function of the VCA portion of the Z5 console. Thanks for watching.